Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button if you enjoy this content. Really appreciate it and it helps me out. So today I'm just going to be looking at various growth stages of vines from when they're young to how you develop a nice strong canopy when they're older. And in order to do that, sometimes you've got to be a little bit harsh on bud numbers, which doesn't really reduce yield because your bunch sizes will increase. Therefore, they'll be heavier bunches. So instead of getting a lot of small bunches, you'll get, less larger bunches that weigh more. And but it'll also increase the girth of the trunk and increase the general vigor of the vine. So yeah, we'll run through a few different vines in various growth stages and just demonstrate how to cut them back to generate a healthier canopy. So we'll start at the bottom end of the scale with a vine here in a grow guard. I'm going to open him up and I'm going to clear out the weeds at the base. Hopefully get them out by the roots. And we'll clean it up like this. We'll cut this lower growth away completely. And up here, we're going to trim it back to just 2. So it's produced 1 cane that hasn't even gone up to the foliage wire, which is this one. It's pretty spindly, not very strong. It's less than a pencil thickness. So pencil thickness is something to consider. You know, that's thinner than my finger. You want it probably, pencil thickness at least. To generate that kind of growth, we're going to just trim it back to 2 active buds. So trim away some of this crap down here that we don't want. And we've got 2 active buds just here, 1 and 2. I'm going to cut through this 3rd one. And I'll close the grow guard back up, which I'm going to need 2 hands for, I think. Now it's been weeded for the most part, trimmed back to 2 buds. I'm going to close up this grow guard, and next year we should get 2 reasonably strong canes out of that. This is the next stage where 1 strong one has been trained up to the wire and along. The excessive growth has been wrapped around the wire there. What we really want to do is cut it at the wire. So we're going to cut it about here through this bud. Oh, I'm going to hold that still for a second. Trim it through this bud. Now it just reaches the wire. Now you want it to just be just under the wire or just at the wire, ideally, because you pull it tight and tie it down, and that encourages a straight trunk. So we've got a straight trunk, and you want to encourage that for the future. You don't want a bent trunk like that one just over there starting to lean to the left. Don't want that, ideally. You want as straight as possible. So what we're going to do is leave the 3 to 4 buds underneath this. This is getting towards pencil thickness. Well, it is at pencil thickness. So we can afford to trim probably 4 on this one. You know, that cane did grow to a reasonable length. It's fairly vigorous and it's pencil thickness all the way up. So I'm pretty comfortable leaving 4 active buds just here underneath the top one. We'll leave 4 active ones and trim everything else off to the base. So here we go with the first one. This is the second. Just trimming off the laterals as I go. 2nd, 3rd. Laterals and tendrils we're trimming off. This one's number 4. Leave that one as well. And we'll trim these ones flat. Because underneath the dripper wire is where your herbicide's going to hit. And so you don't really want any growth to be existing underneath the dripper wire if you can avoid it. So we'll trim that one right back. Now we don't have to worry about getting herbicide on any green parts below the dripper. We've got 4 active buds and we're up to the wire here. And when that one's tied off, it'll encourage a straight trunk, and we'll have 4 canes growing from here next year. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we'll be able to get another cane to lay down plus a replacement spur. Here we have one that's been trained up to the wire last year, and there's been an attempt to have 4 healthy canes coming off of it. The next stage here, what we're going to do is trim it back to 1 healthy cane. So I've selected this one. When I say healthy, it's not entirely healthy because there's some powdery scarring on it. And we're also going to leave a replacement spur, a 2-bud replacement spur. Trim through that bud. There's a replacement spur. And we've left one cane, and we're going to cut this one back to 4 or 5. So 1, and we can space it along the wire. 1, 2, and we can cut this one. And that make that one 3, and 4, and 5. Let's leave 5 on this one. Cut through this one. Now we have 1 cane, 1 spur, and we can lay this guy down. And all the active buds that I've left on it are along the top. So you can see I've left active bud. I've trimmed this one off flat, active bud, trim this one off flat, active bud, trimmed off flat, active bud, and these are all flat, and then I can tie it down at the end there. So I've left 5 active buds, but I've spaced them out along the cane. This one has gone through that stage, 1 cane, 1 spur. Now we can lay down two canes on this guy. And I'll pick these 2 guys down the bottom. I'm not going to worry about a replacement spur on this particular line. Ordinarily I'd leave 2 canes, 1 spur, but with this one we'll just go the 2 canes, and we'll leave 4 to 5 buds on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trimming back. Same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trim off these ones flat just to give it an extra bit of length to tie down. And there we have it, folks. Trimming the bud numbers down to 4 on each side, going to encourage some thickness in the canes and also in the trunk. And then the following year, next year, you'll be able to lay down a reasonable amount of buds, you know, probably 8 to 10 each side. And yeah, you'll have it back on track in sort of 3 to 4 years. You'll have a nice, really strong, healthy canopy, as long as water and nutrition's kept up to it. And that's pretty much the gist of it. After that, she's all bog standard, same as pruning older vines, cane pruning older vines. So of course this is cane pruning, not spur pruning. I don't particularly like spur pruning. I think it harbours disease. It is more efficient in that it's faster, and with a good spray program you can probably avoid disease. But I just think that laying down 2 canes produces better fruit. It encourages more healthy growth, and I just like the cane pruning process for a premium product as opposed to spur pruning. I think that you get more of a premium product in cane pruning than you do spur, and there's plenty of people out there that would debate that, not agree with me at all, but that's my personal view on it, and it's certainly been my experience. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this content, guys. Thanks for tuning in and watching, and please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.